Today, I'm going to talk about who my target audience is. Ideally, I'd like to say that upper tier is going to be for everybody, but the reality is that it's not going to be. Content is like it's like diets and workouts. They all have their place and they all work. They just may work for different people. And so the kind of stuff that I'm going to be making is long form content, the kind of stuff that has personally impacted me the most, the stuff that I enjoy. It's um, it's the kind of stuff that you can play on a commute to and from work. You can play while you're prepping dinner, have it in the background. You got to be able to be the type of person that can just let it run and be okay with the fact that in a 2-hour conversation, you're going to have to pick up the bits and pieces in between because you need to peel back the layers to get these gems and insights that we all chase. And it's hard to do that in a 60-second video. So, hence the whole point of doing long form stuff. And I enjoy it. If you're somebody who if you're the kind of person that needs a 10-second hook, a call to action, motion graphics, and a dramatic soundtrack to keep your attention, then this won't be for you. This requires a certain bandwidth. And I'm not saying that, you're dumb if you don't like this kind of stuff. It's it's gonna be it's a real boring sort of style of content. That's the truth. Like not many people can sit through a 2 to 3 hour podcast and really engage with a conversation that long. So, the majority of people I know in my real life cannot stomach long form content. They're all about the quick hits and those little quick dopamine hits, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's gotten a bad short form content has gotten a bad rap recently because of terms like TikTok rot and all that stuff. But the reality is that's just how a lot of people some people learn better that way. They're able to engage and I suppose absorb more information with short form stuff. I'm not a fan, but there's definitely a place for short form content, and it's the tale of the times that we live in. And especially this day and age, if you to ask somebody to sit through a 30-minute conversation and tell them that you're probably only going to get value out of the 5 minutes, but you've got to be able to be patient and to peel back those layers before you hit that one line that may change, reframe, give you an insight, the solution that you're looking for that can help you deal with a problem in your real life. So people want real quick hits. We're all about the now. So I get it. It's not wrong. It's just different. Me personally, I enjoy the long form stuff. So that's who this my stuff is going to be for. Upper tier is going to be built for those kind of people. I'm going to try and keep it as interesting as I can while asking the right questions, steering the conversation the right way. We'll talk to all sorts of people, like my last video, I talked about the criteria of the guest I want to have on my show. And there is a criteria, but there is no one type of character. We're going to sit down with everybody, real estate agents, startups. We'll sit down with bricklayers, blue collars, white collars, whoever. We'll talk about all sorts of topics. We'll talk about anything from real estate to blockchain, from artificial intelligence to geopolitics. We'll talk about current affairs and all that stuff. Just things that we can, things that are affecting us in real time in our real lives, and hopefully get some sort of value, some sort of solutions from that. The There will be a few things I won't talk about for sure. I'll try to steer away from things like religion and politics because, like I said in my video about the criteria about the guest, I really hate that the majority of people they will use any sort of pathway to sort of push their agenda on anyone who's willing to listen. So I really don't want this to turn into that. So I don't mind talking about a little bit about politics and religion, all this stuff, but it can't be the core topic. And even when we do sit down with business people, content creators, and all that, the there will be a focus on what they're building, but at the same time, the core message will be how we connect that human, the person, to their brand. And I think that's what's going to create that connection, that bridge between an audience and the guest. So yeah, that's who my target audience is. The theme is still the middle grey, and hopefully, hopefully, yeah, we'll stumble across each other if you're into this kind of stuff. Short form as well. I mean, hey, I'll be making some short form content as well, drop it out there here and now, but not too much. The focus is really going to be long form. Um, that's pretty much it. Okay, so